especially like through my development stage, freshman all the way to senior year. I just wish I would have been on that side of town maybe and then got to connect with you guys.
All right, everyone, you're listening to the Watch List, powered by Tan TV, where we shine a light on players who aren't just playing, but they're leading. And I'm Kevin Howell, Director of Scouting for the Noble and founder of the One Eye Scout. Today's guest is a local floor general who's been running the show at John Jay in San Antonio, and he's taking his talents to the college level. I'm talking about my guy, Jarrius Jackson Jr., who is committed to play with Coastal Bend College to play for Coach Martinez. Jarrius, welcome to the watch list.
So happy to be here.
All right, man. Well, let's start right there. You just locked in your next step with Coastal Bend. What made it the right fit for you?
I mean, I feel like I had a genuine connection with Coach Martinez and Coach Jackson. Like the first time we talked, he was calling me like every day, just talking about. He just was trying to talk to me basically.
Mm-hmm.
Ask me how I feel. It just felt natural. Like I didn't have to force anything, and they believe in me.
Mm-hmm.
Then the conference that they're in really helped sway my decision because Region 14, I'd say it's probably the best conference in the nation. Two teams are in the Final Four, three in the Elite Eight.
Mm-hmm.
Just playing D1 dudes like that, twice a year. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. And that's what you do. You run the show, you run the smoke. You're in one of the cleanest facilitators in San Antonio. But tell me, how did shout out to the doghouse? But how did JC prep you to run to smoke and to play the way that you do?
I mean, I give a lot of credit to JC in the doghouse. I came there, I was, me. You saw me. I
Yeah.
was a sophomore. Me and Jordan Thomas, the only sophomores on the team, playing with just straight dogs every day in practice, guarding me full court, running the road every day. It's invaluable. It's
Mm.
best thing about JC. I just feel like he got me mentally tough, like mentally, like skilled tough as well, not just like,
Mm.
because anyone could be tough, but it's
Yeah.
toughness.
It's funny, man. You throw out, Jordan's name and yeah, I met both of y'all going into your sophomore year. Um, what did that kind of connection have, to kind of influence? Or did it? I mean, it may not, you may have already been locked in.
So I had I had committed, and I knew Jordan had an offer from there. So as soon as I committed, I was texting Jordan like, "When you gonna commit? Sign the papers."
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Then we played in the All-Star game, and Coach Martinez and Coach Jackson come. And then after the game, I find out that he commits. So
Yeah. That's cool, man. I mean, I I never got a chance to play with a friend from the same city, from the same state. Yeah, but that's cool, man, because y'all two really do go way back. Um, how do you how do you feel like you keep the tempo right? Because you're known as a facilitator, as a scorer, but how do you know which button to push at what time?
I don't really force it. I just let the game come to me. I'm always aggressive,
Mm,
but aggressive doesn't necessarily mean just hunting my shot or forcing up shots. For me, aggressive's like attacking, like touching the paint, trying to touch the paint every possession. And I get by my first defender. I feel like that's pretty easy for me. I'm really
mm,
help defense. If I see the help, it's a kick out. I got Jaden in the corner. So
yeah.
points
Man,
are
you can't yeah, you're right, man. You had a bunch of dudes around you that could score.
really easy.
But Yeah, yeah, and you know what? A team motto of yours was, "If you get 40, it's gonna be the right 40." You know, and I remember watching that young man get 40.
Oh,
But you know, I tell people all the time about you, JJ, is this: you can facilitate, but when you get that look in your eye, you start scoring in bunches, and I mean that's a family trait. And as you watch films of your pops, like what does that do for you?
you know, that's crazy. You said scoring bunches. My dad always says I score in bunches, but like for me, I feel like I move pretty like unique. Like I feel like I haven't really. Oh, my bad.
All right, there we go. You talking about the way you move is unique.
Yeah, I feel like I don't really see people move like me, but like I watch my dad's film. It's my dad. Like we move the same. So like seeing he was even more aggressive than I was. I'd say like he was just like that's my coach kind of said something similar. Like when I like he says when I go downhill, when I'm
Hmm.
aggressive, I look like my dad. So I've
Yeah,
watched a lot of film.
yeah. I remember we talked about it, man. As the year went along, you watched more and more film, and I always thought that was pretty dope that you had that opportunity, man. So, that's why, really, man, that's why we got you. We've got you on TAN TV. It's not just a skill; it's the edge. And from John Jay to Coastal Bend, that edge has always been there. What do you think? Giving a throwback to Coach Taylor, both of them, Coach Brooks. What are you taking with you, man?
Oof, my gosh, I'm taking so much, like so much I can't even put into words. But
I can imagine that. Like legitimately. I mean, Exit 7, we laugh about that. That's a whole community, that's a whole village, man.
like it's like I heard Coach Brooks and Coach Taylor talking about it. It's a family, like it's a family thing. Like I go see Coach T and his son Colin. I saw him. Yeah,
Hmm.
like it's just stuff like that. It's bigger than basketball. But the thing I'll take away, the biggest thing, what really changed my game was the 2 feet, going off 2 feet. That
Yeah,
a lot of people that I talk to, like a lot of guards in college, like I like always ask to like college guards questions. They always say go off 2 feet. And I feel like they learned that in college, but with Coach Brooks, Coach Taylor, I learned that in high school. So I'm already comfortable doing that. That's already how I play now. So I feel like that transition will be easier. Like it's hard to finish in college as a guard off 1 foot.
yeah,
It's hard. But
yeah.
2 feet, you keep your balance, strength, like it makes the whole game easier.
Well, you know what, man? Before we wrap up, I always love this part, right? And I'm gonna take away some of it, right? Because you get to do one shout out, but I've already thrown out John Jay coaches. I've already thrown out the doghouse.
Hmm.
So who gets a shout out today?
Who gets a shout out? Who gets a shout out? Uh, I'll shout out Coach Lou. I feel like we
Okay.
shout out everyone else. I'll shout out.
Yeah,
He did a lot for me this summer. I was planning on playing with the Legends again, but we
yeah,
out.
yeah,
So Coach Taylor was telling me like he had given me a bunch of different options, but I like Coach Lou like as a coach, and
yeah.
like a lot of the stuff he taught me, like
Hmm.
a lot of again, it's like next level stuff, like how we guard, like an example, how we guard help defense, like
Hmm.
oh, and then the say my bad, little breakdown.
No,
Say
you got to go for it.
ball's in the right wing,
Uh-huh.
your man's in the left corner, you got the help, and then my man's in the left wing. I got whoever that dude passes to. the
Hmm.
Xing it out. That's a college concept. That's not like most AU teams aren't doing that. And I feel like
Yeah.
he taught us right. He
Hmm.
gave us opportunities, and got a lot of love for Lou and everyone with the Toros.
Yeah. You know what, man? I like to think that I had a little bit of part of you going with Toros because Coach Taylor and I talked about it, and he was like, "Country, if it ain't legends, who is it?" And I was like, "There's only one dude that can teach my man more offense, and prepare him." So, but that's cool, man. I'm glad you feel that way. Um, I
He,
know Lou loved having you.
oh
You
my,
know, go ahead.
he also like he was big on defense, like real big on defense. He used to always clown on me, like
Hmm.
just trying to make me better in practice. If I got like, he was extra hard on me about that because
Yeah,
he'd always talk about the next level for me. He always saw the. He asked me what my plan was, like what I wanted to do before we even played a game. He sat down with me.
yeah,
We talked for like an hour, like
that's
what
cool, man.
I was serious about it, and you know,
You
shout
know
out.
what'll be interesting, man, is if you get to cross paths with Rendon up there at Pratt, man. Hey, think about whenever we first met. I told y'all the move was gonna be JUCO,
You did,
you know,
you did.
and now,
That was
yeah,
sophomore year. You told me that.
yeah, and
Fourth.
so, man, I'm just glad. But look, man, I'm gonna let you get off here. I'm glad you joined us. And people better lock in. J Jack's headed to Coastal Bend, and he's not just bringing a handle. He's got a mindset. This has been the Watch List, powered by Tan TV. I'm Kevin Howard. Remember, guys that play the game, others read it. Jarrius does both.
Mm, I
Love you,
like
my guy.
you too.
Said I was just like how you guys seen it, you know what I mean? Like especially like through my development stage, freshman all the way to senior year. I just wish I would have been on that side of town maybe and then got to connect with you guys. I definitely felt like it would have helped me a lot.